Okay, folks, here comes the all-important section of free zone persons CT applicability. Now, as you may be aware that in UAE, we have two main business lands. We have got the mainland businesses and we have got very specific zones which are called as free zones. So free zones are technically the areas where these areas are considered technically outside of UAE, because if you are importing anything in a free zone, the import duty is not applicable. So they are considered as if the goods are still to be entered inside the mainland of UAE. Up till now, the CT applicability, what we have a discussion on, mainly belongs to the mainland companies. Now we'll see about the free zone persons and we'll see that how they will be taxed. So for the free zone taxation, it is very important that free zone persons as a whole, as and when you establish a company in free zone, normally you get a tax holiday. Okay, this tax holiday is given by the free zones when somebody incorporates it. And of course, before this CT was announced, we don't have any concept of corporate tax in UAE. So there was, or there is at present also, a blanket exemption if you form a company in free zone. So when this CT was announced, so it was of course expected that the government will continue the tax holiday for the entities who are already established in the free zone and who are also complying with all the regulations of the free zone. So in that regard, when CT law was announced, they said that we will have a concept of a qualifying free zone person, which I will explain you in due course. So anybody who is a qualifying free zone person will be subject to CT as follows: 0% CT on its entire qualifying income. Now it's very important that at present we do not have the clarification of qualifying income, and we will be expecting the cabinet decision very soon, and as and when it will be announced, of course I'll be updating the training session also. So if a qualifying free zone, I'm just taking an exemption. For example, if I am somebody operating in a free zone, for example, I am in Jabal Ali free zone, and if I am only operating within that zone, I am expecting that it would be considered as a qualifying income, or probably I am just exporting from the zone, okay, to rest of the world. In that case also, I am assuming this, again it is my assumption, that it would be considered as a qualifying income. So if it would be a qualifying income, entire qualifying income would be taxed at 0%. But if something in future will not meet the criteria of qualifying income, it would be taxed as flat rate of 9% here. Now in this, we'll still have to see that in case if some income would not meet this criteria, and for example, let's say I have 500k as qualifying income and probably 600k as a non-qualifying income. So one thing is pretty sure, that for this 500k I would be paying 0 tax, because it is clear if it would be a qualifying income. But the income which will not be a qualifying income, in that of course we have to still wait and see at whether this 600,000 would be subject to a basic threshold of 375k would be subtracted from it, and the balance amount would be taxed, or probably the entire 600 would be taxed in this case. So we still have to wait and see. But up till here, you need to understand that first somebody has to be a qualifying free zone person, which I'll explain you shortly. And in that scenario also, if he is generating any income which would be a qualifying income, then the CT would be 0, else on his income which will not fulfill, say, this criteria, the flat rate would be applicable. Now, if I am a free zone entity which meets all the criteria, I am having a substance in the free zone, I am actually operating from it, and I am earning the qualifying income, I would be getting this 0% free zone CT without any application to FTA. So it means that if I fulfill the condition, I would be getting the 0% CT straight away. But still, such entities would be required to get a registration as per the CT law here, and accordingly they will be expected to file the CT return also. But there could be some scenarios, it could be dependent on each of the entities, that such persons who are subject to 0%, they may elect that we do not want to get taxed and please treat us as normal CT regime, okay, and tax us also, accordingly as somebody who will be incorporated outside the free zone. So if they apply, and if it is, and they can, elect, and they can also pay tax as, all the entities who are incorporated outside the free zone. Now consider that all, everything will be dependent on that who would be a qualifying person here. Qualifying free zone here is that who meets all of the following conditions. There are 4 conditions. All of these should be entirely fulfilled. First thing is that they should maintain adequate substance in the state. Now it is very important to understand that they say here adequate substance in the state. Okay, earlier we used to have an understanding that adequate substance should be inside the zone, but at present we are saying that adequate substance in the state, they derive qualifying income. Now we still have to wait and see that the qualifying income concept, how FTA will be explaining it, but as I said, the assumption is that any income which will be derived from operations within free zone, zone to zone sale, or from zone you are exporting outside, it is again my assumption. So anything which would be a qualifying income, such person should be earning it, and such person should not be electing for 9% CT applicability. And of course the all important condition is that they should be complying with the arm's length transaction, because as we can see that in UAE we have so many transactions happening between the free zone entities and their inland counterparts. So I am the owner of both of these entities, I am the same owner. So in this case the free zone entity, to maintain the status of a qualifying person, have to comply with the conditions for the transfer pricing also. So at present we have all this information available, and we can see that free zones will be treated very separately, and it may lead to some restructuring. I can see for the business planning in future, again of course without having the intent of avoiding the tax, but as a fair corporate tax planning, companies in future they may think of operating only from the free zone if they are exporting only. So we still have to wait and see in this. So I hope this important area is also clear to you.